Get your phone charged on here.
Hey, we are live. This is Sarah Blessing, and I'm with Ellen Kelly. And she did a mental fitness with us like a month ago or so, a couple months ago, about helping people with anxiety. I think we need to do another one, honestly, because I feel like things have gotten worse since then.
I believe so.
But anyway, Ellen Kelly's awesome, and we have been attending the Jason Kerberg Republican Fundraiser. Jason is a cop. He's running for sheriff in Floyd County. Floyd County is where I grew up. Now I'm in Harrison County, but I'm right next door to Floyd. Floyd County is across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. Churchill Downs, the Derby, if you're watching this someplace other than Indiana. Before we start, Ellen, are you thinking about running in the election?
I am thinking about running in the 2026 election. There is no election this year in Indiana, but I am planning on running for Floyd County Commissioner next year. So getting a big jump start on it.
You just told me that today, and I think that is a wonderful idea, Ellen, because you like track what's going on with the county council, with the commissioners. Those are the groups that approve government money for the county. Mm-hmm. And so you can do a lot of good or a lot of harm or a lot of nothing, depending on who you elect for those roles. And it goes to the commissioners first. They approve, they say yes or no to money.
Mostly.
And then it goes to the council.
The actual budget itself starts with the county council, the one they approve.
Maybe we should do a show where we just talk about what commissioner and county council is. Because when I started getting into politics, I had no clue.
No, most people don't.
So we could do a show on that.
Yeah. So anyway, last year I attended most of the commissioner meetings and most of the county council meetings. So
you know a lot about it.
And then
I've learned that from you. Yeah. Because you've informed me of stuff I didn't know about what's going on.
Yeah. And then
walking in front of
we're live.
Right. A bunch of police and not so much traffic. So
we're on.
The sheriff's campaign. I'm jaywalking. Yeah.
Okay. So
anyway, I know that there's a ton of issues in that in the commissioners, a lot going on, and I think people are pretty interested in it.
Yes. So Tim Peck couldn't come with me tonight because he's working in the ER. And I couldn't find anybody to come to. So hang on, you stay here for a minute and then I'll get you in just a minute. There's a lot of people. So anyway, so I was texting people and I couldn't get anybody to come. And then I called you today and I said, will you go to this Republican event with me? And you said yes, and you're a Democrat. And guys, we walked into the Grand. See if I can get a shot of here. We walked into the Grand. To a room full of Republicans. This is a room full of Republicans that we are kind of told repeatedly, Republicans are monsters. They're scary. Don't talk to them. And we get in there and are they monsters?
You're asking me.
Yeah. Are they monsters?
No, of course not.
Are they nice? Were they nice?
Okay. So, we started talking to people, and then when the band started,
we couldn't hear. That's why we're out here. The band's loud. But they're great. They're great.
But a lot of the people I talked to were here because they were friends
with or work with
Jason.
So there's a lot of people that care about Jason because he's a legit good person.
Yes.
And but there were some definite real local Republicans there.
Yes. And now I met Frank Loop today, who's the commissioner, right? He's the commissioner. He used to be sheriff. He's a Republican.
He was elected commissioner last year, and he was a sheriff.
I've heard a lot about Frank Loop, and I've never met him and talked to him in person. And he was very nice, and we talked a lot about cops' mental health, and I hope to talk to him more in the future. I also talked to Heather Peters, the lawyer for the Palmyra Town Council, and she's been a lawyer for a lot of government. And I believe she was Republican chair of the party for a while.
Yes, chair of the party until last year sometime.
Yes.
Maybe June. I don't know, but
and then she got a lot of heat because she worked with Jamie Knoll but she didn't know he was doing bad
Tablet
stuff.
next to you.
Okay, Jason, come on in here, and then is that okay if I
Yes,
get you
please.
actually?
Go.
Sorry. Okay, Jason, come on down. Thanks for taking time to your event. Sit here. So here's Jason Kerberg. He's been on the show. We did one long show, one mini show, and now here's another one. You're looking nice. I didn't know it was a cowboy event, but I have no cowboy clothes. But you're looking nice. Liking the band. Food was good. Thanks for letting me come.
Okay, thanks for coming.
I just want to share with you what was interesting. We ended up talking a lot about the youth shelter.
Uh-huh.
So I met Frank Loop, talked to him about stuff, got to know him. We talked for about 20 minutes. Then I talked to you about the youth shelter. Ellen, who's running for commissioner in the next election, really cares about the youth shelter. And you were telling me problems, and we don't have to talk about the problems tonight, but I just want people to realize Ellen and I are working this thing and we're talking to all these people. We're figuring out why the youth shelter didn't happen, why it didn't get approved. There was money that didn't get funded, and it's still running. But I just want you all to realize we're figuring out problems. We're talking to you and trying to come up with solutions. None of this would have happened if I wouldn't have walked through those doors. If
Right.
Ellen wouldn't have come with me, who knows a lot about it too, and if we wouldn't have talked to these people that are doing stuff, if we would keep being afraid of each other, if I'd be afraid of you, like you were told to be afraid of me, right?
Right.
You were told, don't you dare talk to that
Don't
Sarah
talk to the
Blessing.
Democrat.
Don't you talk to that Democrat. Don't you do it. And they were like, what are you doing, Sarah, talking to this Republican cop? Cops are bad. And it's like, no, we're people. We're human beings.
Right.
So will you reflect on that a little bit with me? Because I think we're really hurting the community by being so divided.
Right. Well, first of all, to get anything accomplished, you have to be able to work together. If you can't be able to cross party lines and work with somebody, it's going to be a stalemate. Nothing's ever going to happen. You're never going to get anything done. You got to be able to have an honest conversation and sit down and listen to both perspectives and work together to come up with a solution. If you're not even willing to sit down and talk to somebody just because they're a Democrat or just because they're a Republican,
Or even if you're told scary things
Right.
about them, but you don't know if they're
Right.
true or not,
you're
right?
never going to get anything accomplished ever. Go back. I would like to talk about that youth shelter for a second.
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
So, as a police officer,
Just side note, we had the youth shelter main person on. Tim Peck interviewed her, so you can go back to I believe it's a Dr. Tim show and find it. But the youth shelter, they were like not getting funding. The commissioners and the county council voted no to fund it, right? But then the judge is keeping it open. I didn't know about this.
I
Ellen just
don't
told
know.
me.
I haven't heard any
I
more
think
about
a
it.
judge stopped
Uh,
that, but I'm not
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard any more about that. What's going on with that? But I could just tell you some things about the youth shelter that a lot of people don't know from a police officer's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could just tell you the problems that we've had with the youth shelter and some things that I would like to see change.
Okay.
So, first of all, we agree that we definitely need a youth service. We got to have some youth services. So, all for the youth and a place for them to go. The problem is we need better trained people that are operating the youth shelter.
Right.
So, first of all, I don't think they make enough money. I think that, if somebody's making $15 an hour, you're just not going to get the quality type of person.
So
that you
pay them
need.
more so you get
So you
quality
need more,
people.
you
Okay.
need more pay and better training
Okay.
with everybody. Everybody needs more training. They definitely need more training. And the reason I say that is this. So the youth shelter, we have a lot of runaway juveniles that run away from the
We're in
youth shelter.
New Albany, Indiana.
So as a police officer, I have to tie up my resources, whether it be overtime. We have to call in EMA to borrow their drones to search for these people.
And how many cops
And-
do you have on
And,
shift
and
at
a
one
lot of
time?
time, there's only 3 officers working
Right.
in the whole entire county. And we have to tie up all of our resources to go find a runaway juvenile.
Okay.
And it's very close to the river. So I'm afraid that one day one of these juveniles is going to run away. They run out in the woods. They get down by the river. Something's going to happen to them. And there's been times that I've had a juvenile run away 4 times within my shift.
Okay.
And I have to tie up my resources.
So your
all day
whole
long
night is
Just
just
to-
taking this one person
just to
that's running
capture
away.
this runaway juvenile, just to take them back to the youth shelter, just for them to run away again, so we can do it over and over and over again.
Okay.
So we got to find a way to keep them inside the youth shelter that they just can't walk out the door and leave at any time they want.
Okay.
Whether that be, either we do locked doors if that's possible, or at least have an employee at the youth shelter willing to follow the juvenile when they leave so they can tell us where they're at. Something, but they shouldn't be able to just freely leave the youth shelter, and then they rely on us to come find them.
Is
to bring
that
them back.
why you
Uh,
think the commissioners are saying no to this? Is that the main problem?
I don't know that. That's something you have to talk to the commissioner
Yeah,
about.
because I don't know.
I don't-
I want to know why they're
Yeah.
not funding it. I get that that's a problem that I think it's solvable.
There's lots of things that we can do to have a functional youth shelter, but right now it's just not functioning the way it needs to be or should be.
So
Um,
I'm open
and-
to
and-
using Project Next to try to help
Yeah.
merge everybody and come up with a plan so that we can have a functioning youth shelter. I think that would benefit the community a lot.
So when I talk about training, I'm gonna give you an example. We as police officers, we bring the juveniles to the youth shelter for incorrigibility. So what that is basically if a parent is having trouble with their child and the child is being incorrigible and not listening to what the parent says, they can't control them, we can take them to the youth shelter for incorrigibility. Well, the youth shelter is supposed to be capable of handling that, but they're not. So usually we will take them to the youth shelter and then they call the police when the kid's being incorrigible. So
So we need,
it's like we are taking them here for that purpose.
and then you're
But
still
and
having
then
to
we
come
have
in.
to come right back and talk to the kids again because now you're not trained enough to handle an incorrigible kid. But that's why we bring them there.
The problem,
those-
the
so
problem that I see is how do you pay them money?
Yeah.
How do you pay the workers more?
Yeah.
How do you get them better training? We need money.
Right. It
You
takes
know,
money.
That and so where's the money? Like that's
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of programs that help the people that need help the most. There's not enough funding for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to me because if we protect those that are most vulnerable, that need help the most, if we protect them and prevent them from being on the street, maybe we can help them so that they don't turn to addiction. If we can stop some of the problems, we could stop people from coming to you and going into our jails and costing a bunch of money in the jail system. And then their lives are hurt. And then everybody else that's related to them, they're hurt because these people are in jail. So what frustrates me as the person coming in trying to help the community is how we right now are cutting programs that would help prevent people from winding up in your service, in need of your help, in need of you protecting other people. Like that's where I'm frustrated right now. I'm seeing programs being cut across the country, across the state, even in the county. And I just wish we would all work together and help those that are most vulnerable first.
And that's what we have to do. We do have to work together to figure out how we're going to fund these programs and how we're going to make them operate efficiently.
What I
Because
like,
that's the problem with a lot of programs now. We have programs, but they're not doing what they're needed to be done. You know what I mean?
right?
It's a program that you're paying for that's worthless. And a lot of the programs that we have.
So you want to make the
we have to
programs that we have
to
better.
find every program that we have. I mean, even in drug rehab programs and things like that. A lot of drug rehab programs are just they're money getters. They bring and I've seen it because I've run a security company. I've worked for some of them.
No, I've seen it
These
too.
Drug rehab programs just bring people in. They filter
They bring
in.
them in, they
and
do 28 days, and
They
it's
do
not enough,
28
and then
days.
they're
It's not
out.
enough, and they're out, and they only care about the money. If we had better programs to they actually care about the people that are in them. That's what
That's
I like.
the problem.
Care
the
about the
people
people
that-
that are in them
the
and get
people-
them the help that they need, long-term help that they need, not just
You're
filter
seeing
them
it.
through.
You're seeing it, and I'm seeing it. We're seeing the same problem. The people that run the programs that make the government money aren't always the best people. They don't always have the best intentions.
Right.
They're not trying to save people. They're trying to make a profit. So you're for, if you became sheriff, would you be for taking extra time? Because it's going to be hard work.
Right.
Sitting down with each committee and making each program better so it helps people?
That's my goal. I want to help people, and I want all the programs in place that are there to help people. It's like drug
I
rehab.
just want to point out.
I want to see better. So a lot of these programs that are implemented in the jail right now, I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're more like a mentor, right? They go in there and they're people that have been addicted to drugs before and they beat it, and that is great. And they're good mentors. However, we need actual therapists.
Yeah.
We need true therapists because
Right.
I'm a big believer that you can't beat an addiction until you treat the trauma.
Yeah. They're so right.
There
right?
is there's a reason that most people are addicted to anything, and it usually revolves around some type of trauma that occurred in their life. And you're not going to help that addiction until you help that trauma.
Yeah, and so you're
So-
saying they're putting band-aids on
Right.
an open
Exactly.
wound.
You're putting band-aids
Right.
on open wounds.
Yeah,
You
I
really,
agree with
if you
you.
really care about the people and you really truly want to see them get help, you got to get to the root cause. So we got to get to the root cause of it and help them there first. And then the addiction, it'll fall in place.
Now, if I believed all the scary things I was told about you, Jason, and you believed all the scary things about me, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We've got to stop that. We have to talk to the other side. We have to find where we agree, and we have to listen to each other when we disagree.
Right.
And I it's some of the things I like so much about you is how moral you are and brave, and you're willing to do the hard work. You're not scared of hard work. So yeah.
If you put 5 people in a room, we're going to have 5 different perspectives.
But
And-
can those 5 people come up with
Right.
something that helps the
But
community?
there's got to be something that you could talk about that all 5 of you will agree upon.
And right now,
You know?
in our government, don't you think we're just yelling at each other? There's no compromise. There's no growth. There's no, let's actually put the community first. I just don't see it from both sides. I don't see it happening from both sides right now. And I'm frustrated. Yeah.
We're all frustrated. Yes, I want to see people come together. We got to somehow figure out how we can bring people together from both sides and be able to sit down in a room and let's talk about the things that we can agree upon. Let's work on the things that we can agree upon.
You'll always be the first Republican brave enough to come on our show.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can get more on. I want to get more Republicans. If you're listening to this and you're a Republican and you want to help the community, get in touch with me. I'm trying to prove a point here.
Right. And what I like to tell people, when I'm sheriff, I'm not the sheriff of the Republican Party. I'm not a sheriff of the Democratic Party. I'm going to be the sheriff of all people.
Right.
And I want to do what's best for all people, for everybody in the community. That's my goal. I want to bring people together, and I really don't care about being a Republican or being a Democrat.
I wish we didn't have the labels. I wish we just voted for the person.
Right.
But we've got a 2-party system and it's really hard to run as an independent here. So yeah. So good job on your great event. Thanks for inviting
I
me.
appreciate you coming.
Yeah, thanks for being my friend. I feel like we're friends now. With that first meeting, we were a little bit, but I think we're legit
Yeah.
friends now. I mean,
We're good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you go back to your vet. I'm going to get Shuri on
Okay.
and thank you.
All right.
Good
Thank
luck.
you very much.
Stay in touch, my friend. Little cowboy. Okay. Shuri Ray is here. Come sit right here. Ellen, just sit down here, girl.
Yeah.
You were
Sorry.
really blended in.
Okay, so Shuri Ray is a famous person. She's
I
a
don't know
reality.
that.
She's a reality star.
Oh gosh, that was hot.
You were on. You look adorable. You were on.
60 Days In, season
60
2.
Days In season 2, which was a reality show. What was it on? A&E.
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 And then I did my own spin-off show afterwards called Inmate to Officer.
Inmate to Officer.
Yes. It followed me my first year working at the jail.
And I met you because sometimes you let me know when I should. I'll just tell people. She messaged me about Jason.
Yes.
You're the reason I met Jason. So thank you.
Well, I tell everybody, I mean, this is, I think, what people need to understand. You know, I reached out to Jason because, yes, I worked in law enforcement for 17 years. I am an addict. I beat this disease many years ago.
I'm proud of you.
And I tell everybody, there's no difference between me and anybody in that prison or jail I worked with. I just didn't get caught. Let's be real.
Right. And you
And
didn't get caught with it. So
and
you
everybody
didn't wind up
thinks
in jail, but you could have wound up in jail.
yeah, and everybody thinks this disease, you know, it's about, they assume it's the person, you know, dressed with the tattoos and the pants so tight. I know more addicts who had badges than I did on the streets. You know, my plug worked for me, you know, with me.
So you're telling me that there's a stigma of who we arrest with addiction?
Yes.
Who would have thought that?
And so,
Hmm.
and when, I actually changed my career a few years ago when I going through a divorce and had some trauma with the sheriff I worked for. And we'll talk about that in another show probably.
Yeah, we need to have a show on. She got
Yeah, we'll talk
she
about
got traumatized by Jamie Knoll, that bad sheriff we talk about
Yes.
every once in a while.
but
He tried to destroy your life. That's cute, Dawn.
oh,
And
it
so we'll
was
talk
cute,
about it another time. But I'm really glad you're alive.
Well, thank you. Well,
I'm
tell
really
everybody-
proud of you.
This Jason, though, I need everybody to know this. I was the one who reached out to him because I became an addiction counselor. I went back to school. I'm a licensed addiction counselor. I'm actually the director of Get Well Health. And I have so many clients who actually told me that this man who comes off so serious, so hardcore. You know, he's got that.
Jason?
Yeah, Jason. They actually he saved their lives. He's
Aw.
actually talked to family members that said their kid wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this man. That he
Aw.
was one of the most realest, even though he was hardcore, he was real and he was genuine.
I
And
get that about him.
and
Like he just straight up tells it like it is.
Yes, and
Because I'll ask a question, he'll go, "I'll tell you the problem with that," and he'll immediately tell me, and I'm like, "Oh, you know, other people would have been too.
and I'm telling
They
you,
would have just said it."
I've had clients who you would not believe me because they're not the ones that would ever say they like a cop, but tell me straight up, they have so much respect for that man because even though he arrested them, he was fair. He gave them a chance. He would talk to them.
He said on our show before, he said when they're in the back seat, he's
Yes.
giving them advice, and you're talking to people
Yes.
that were in the back side
Yes, and so
and listen to the advice.
So I reached out to
That's-
him and I'm like,
that's me.
I don't know you, sir, but I just want to say thank you because, you know, I know cops don't get a lot of that. I go and
He let me know.
and I started talking to
I like
him
that.
and, you know, just here and there about professional things. And he was just one of the nicest. And he's so serious about this drug war and about our youth. And it was something, you know, I wanted.
He legit cares about people.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to say something real quick. I heard what he was saying just earlier and it just clicked in my head. These recovery centers, do you know why they're making so much money? They have people called peer support. They charge the insurance. Our Medicaid pays for these people in there. So why don't we have peer support in some of these youth shelters and we're not charging Medicaid for it? So we get payment for that. So we can get the
idea.
yes.
I
Why are
wonder
we
what
doing that? Because we're billable. If I worked at a youth shelter, I would bill them all day long because it's youth and child services. I would bill for him mental health services.
And then you could get a lot more of the
Yes.
things he was talking about needed. You would get a lot more of the support and
They
you could
get-
pay him better.
They get for people who go for I put it this way, IOP, which is 3 hours a day.
What's
3 days a week.
IOP?
It's outpatient services where you go to
Okay.
classes.
Okay.
Intensive outpatient.
Yes.
Contingent.
Okay.
Okay.
If you go to that for 9 hours a week for 1 month, it's billable from the state. The state pays up to 10 grand for that.
Wow.
So we
Now
could
you
be
see why
billing
there's
that.
some people in there that are a little
Yeah.
bit shady because it's
Yeah,
so
it's
much
funny.
money.
So I'm saying, why don't we do that for the youth shelters so we can get the funding up there?
That's a great idea. Okay,
Yes.
let's mention it
I
to
guess I'm doing it.
Jason.
Because it just clicked on me when you
Frank
said
Oops
that.
in there, the commissioner that I just met today for the first time. Let's mention it.
I
to
mean,
him.
I'd rather get money from the state so we have people who actually that's our youth. Let's get them the money and do something with it. So we get people in there.
Yeah, what I'm so frustrated about with our government, our local government, our state government, we just don't put the people first. And
No.
and you can tell we're all upset. We're trying to blame the other side so much for it, but it's not necessarily the other side. It's the specific people we've elected
Yes.
doing things that don't help our community. And we kind of got to do our own work. We kind of got to, start our own media companies sometimes to
forget they
get the
work for us.
info out.
So we forget too, and I forget that. I hate to say this, but if Jason gets elected, he works for me. I am a citizen
Yeah.
of Floyd County.
Yeah.
I'm his boss.
Yeah.
And people
Well,
forget
should
that.
be.
Well, no, but I'm saying that's the way it's supposed
That's
to be.
what it's
It's not
supposed to
the way
be, but
anymore.
it's not anymore.
No.
It's people that want to be in control, helping get their friends get
Yeah.
elected, and then they tell them how to vote, and then they blindly vote that way. That's what it seems to be to me.
And that's why, like I said, that's one of the reasons I have so much respect for Jason. Is, being somebody who is an addict, in recovery myself, who's done things in my past that I'm not proud of. Back in the 90s, I've lived it up, okay? To have somebody like that who will sit down and listen to me as if I'm equal.
You are equal.
Well, no, but I'm saying
I know what
it's
you're
so
saying.
rare to see that because usually cops look at you like, okay, He actually would listen to me. He's like, okay, what's going on? He
Girl,
genuinely.
I'm telling you this right now. You are freaking amazing, and you are
thank you.
helping so many people. You help so many people with
uh.
Exit Zero, which is one of the programs down here that helps the homeless. You are amazing, and everybody should be listening to you.
Well,
And
yeah,
that's
I
what
think it's fair.
Jason did. Jason's listening to you.
Yeah.
Well, who else is listening to you? And it's a good way to see whether these people are good or not, because you deserve to be listened to. You have
Yeah.
been at the rock bottom.
Yeah.
You have been addicted. You have been homeless at times, right?
Well, after what happened with that's coming on
With
another
Jamie
show
Knoll.
with Jamie Knoll. I myself was homeless for 3 years. I
People
had
that listen to your ideas, that's a way to show this is a legit good person. Are they
Yeah.
faking it? Like Jamie Knoll was really good at faking it, or are they actually a legit good person that wants to solve our problems in the community? And let's get those people elected.
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm being dead serious. Somebody who's worked in corrections for 17 years and somebody who is in long-term recovery, I can read a person, okay?
That's
I'm
hands.
sorry.
So that's why when you
When I
messaged me
went to
about
go to the
Jason,
dope
I
man's house in
believed you.
1994, I tell you, I could read a house. I knew what's up was up, That's what made me a good corrections
I
officer,
can
'cause
read it
find-
too.
I can find stuff fast.
I've been manipulated enough, some with the
Honey,
religion and all
honey,
kinds of things that I can read it
you
too.
can ask
But I still get tricked. I got tricked by the person that gave me that had suicidal thoughts a year and a couple months ago. And that person I thought was my friend for like 2 years, not close friend. So I can still be tricked. So I don't think I'm like some expert.
It wouldn't be any better. Oh my God. You know, I'm actually a member of Survivor of Suicide.
Oh yeah.
My first love committed suicide.
I'm so
He
sorry.
wrote a letter about he's the one who taught me about drugs. He was a rich kid and he got his cocaine one day. This was the rich club and I got addicted and I took too much after a year and killed myself. And when I got sober, he took his life. He wrote a letter about addiction and mental health and took his life.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's awesome that you
But
said
I mean,
that.
yeah, I openly talk about it. And you know, when I openly talked about it, that's when I found my real friends.
Yes.
That's when I found my real friends. I found the people that judged me just backed off. And the people that really cared about me saw it on Facebook, called me and were like, what can I do? Can I come
Okay,
up?
you
What
just
can
have to
I do?
say this real quick. Could you say something about religion? Was it something about the survivor? About these suicide?
No, I've had really bad religious trauma with like people that are like a youth pastor. I had a youth pastor mess with me.
Well,
And
I've
I'll
heard
talk about
people-
that sometime. I want to talk about it with you, Ellen.
Well, I've heard people say that. Just I want to throw this out real quick. I've heard people say that you go to hell if you commit suicide, and I always
That's
tell
not true.
people. I just want to tell everybody. My pastor said the sweetest thing I ever heard. Said, listen, if your child's outside playing and it's a fenced-in yard, nothing can happen to them, but bugs are coming in. You close the glass door, but you can see him. You're cleaning the dishes. He gets scared, runs through the glass to you. Do you beat your kid or do you hold him because he's cut and scared because he ran to you with his father? And he's like, that's how I would be suicidal. And I'm like, yeah.
That's a
No,
nice
yes,
way of
that's
saying.
common, but I might say that's one of
But
the
I
reasons
just
I love
think
Jason so much. He's such a real person.
This
You
just
feel
like
it.
this pisses me off about our culture is that people don't think they're equal to people in power, and
Oh, yeah.
people use that. People in power use that to manipulate us.
Mhm.
And part of me doing Project Next was getting really mentally fit and being strong enough to come out and do this
Yeah,
and realizing, oh, you're no better than me and I'm no better than you.
yeah, we're human.
We're human. And I
Especially
think if
females too. I hate to say this, but let's be real.
yeah, it's hard as a girl.
25, we're
I've had-
still females. I hate to say that, but I know when I walk in a room with all male officers,
Yeah.
I'm still the female.
Right.
And I'm like, listen, I'm better than any detective you got because I've gone through a divorce. I can find stuff out faster than you can. Let's be real. A woman that's hurt, we can find stuff out
You're
faster than you
freaking
can. I'm
amazing.
just being dead serious.
So we'll have Cherie on a show when we dedicate it to you and
Okay.
what you've been in and what you're comfortable with sharing.
Yeah,
You told me
I'm
some
ready,
on the
I'm
phone
ready
before.
to share. I am
So
ready to
just
share.
let me know and we'll
Yeah.
schedule it. But I want to thank you for introducing me to Jason.
No.
I'm glad did you see it on my Facebook? Is that why you came tonight?
Yes.
I'm
yes.
so glad I posted that.
I
and
didn't
you
know it was
came.
going to be this boots thing. And you know, and I'm wearing.
I didn't know it was a
Richard
boots
Keith-
thing either because you asked me what to wear and I told you the wrong thing. 'Cause I-
Well, I don't
He
even have
put
Spanx
boots-
on. Nothing.
he put boots on the
They're just Spanx
on
on
the invite, but I didn't. I don't know. I mean, it was full on legit boots,
Listen.
cowboy theme. But that's okay. We can wear what we want.
You know, it's like walking
I
in
do
with
what I want,
a bunch
but
of
they're-
cops in cowboy boots. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, a lot of cops in there. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up with.
Did I just say they were all jaywalking to get over here and talk to you, by the way?
Yeah, that's. But we're of a certain class.
Yes.
We're allowed to get away with it.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thanks, Cherie. We'll have you on again.
I love you.
And love you too, girl. And it's so nice to meet you in person. We got to do this more. Thank you. So you just met a behind the scenes person at Project Next that's been helping me try to find the good people in the community. Today's been kind of overwhelming. How are you doing, my friend? I mean, I invited you to this Republican event. I said, talk to Republicans for me. You went and you tried, then the music got too loud.
And the music got too loud. Yes.
I just want to do a quick on-air mental health check.
Okay.
How you doing?
Doing fine. Doing fine. Yes.
And
Yes.
maybe we can help with the youth shelter. Sure, he just came up with a good idea. I have no idea whether there's any way that's possible. I bet it's a bunch of paperwork. I bet it would take time, but I bet it also might be possible.
Well, okay. So she
Was
Okay.
saying get funding for the youth shelter by getting it from government because you're providing like mental health support, like get trained counselors in, get trained people with addiction, get trained people with trauma. They have licenses in it. Then they could get actual legit funding from the government, like we do these 28-day addiction programs, which Jason says is not long enough to get somebody clean from addiction because they've got trauma. And that's usually the reason why they became addicted, which I think is a very good, valid point.
So I'm not sure about Medicaid funding and funding for youth
I bet
shelters
Tim might
from
know.
the state,
Or Tim knows.
but I do know that the county does not give the youth shelter any money.
Okay.
The county does not give them any
Have they
money.
ever?
What? I don't think so.
But they said no to the building? What happened?
Okay, so this is what happened. Let's say, I'm not sure of exact dates, but let's say in April, the youth shelter got a $500,000 grant, and they had to find matching money to expand programs and all that. A solution, a money solution. All the commissioners and county councils came to the press conference and got all the attention and everything.
Like they were really supporting the youth
So
shelter?
then on May 8th, one of the county commissioners went to the head of the youth shelter and said, by the way, we're selling the building that you're living in, that you're working in, that you have youth shelter in,
Oh.
and you have to be out in 180 days.
Oh.
Now, if they had on that first day, if they already had another building, they couldn't have gotten relicensed in 180 days. It would take months
That
and
doesn't
months.
sound good on the council. That the
The
council,
commissioners.
the commissioners said
did
no.
that. Yes.
I need to ask Frank Luke why they did that.
So there a bunch of people came to the meeting and said, this is bad. What are you doing? What's going on? And then the next commissioners meeting, because they have to have 2 hearings when they're going to do anything like that with a certain number of days in between. And so the next meeting, one of Floyd County judges, Justin Brown, came to the meeting and said, I've done some research, and the youth shelter was created through my court in 1985, Judge Henry Least. And so it is not yours. You can't throw it
sell
out.
it.
You can't do that. Yes.
So he stopped it.
So they stopped it.
I didn't know that.
And Justin was supposed to, look at some more long-term things,
So
But
is it not settled? Is
there
this
was
still
no
open?
180 days. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so it's
And
still
there's-
open.
there's
They
no-
stopped the 180
There's
days.
no ticking
I
clock.
didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah.
So thank you,
There's no
Justin
ticking clock.
Brown.
Yeah.
Thank you to Republican Judge Justin Brown
Yeah.
for looking at the law and stopping that. I don't think that the county are fully aware that that's going on, because I would think most people want the youth shelter to be open. We would like to protect the youth that are most vulnerable. And so I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful to you, Ellen. You helped us get a show about it.
Yeah.
And Tim
Yeah.
got the person
Like
that runs the youth shelter on, and he was down
4 hours after the commissioners
because it wasn't
announced
much
this.
time.
No, I mean,
That's another way.
Yeah.
Whenever it's not a good decision, they tend to make it very quiet, and they tend
Very
to do
quiet.
it very quick.
yes,
Quickly.
very
So,
quick.
so you're good working behind the scenes tracking that. And I would like to see you as the Floyd County Commissioner,
Well, I would too. Thank you very much.
because I would think you would protect those that were most
Yeah.
vulnerable. And also you're very intelligent and you're brave. She walked into this event on short notice with me because I did not want to go alone. And I'm eternally grateful.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for being my friend.
Yes.
Also, she's a big reason we're funded. I just want to say this again. She paid for StreamYards that we're using right now. We didn't have the money to do it. You just immediately got us started. You got us started way faster. I will never not be thankful. It means so much to me.
Well, teaching the public about all this stuff is so important. So important.
And you
And,
saw this could be a way to
yeah.
get out.
Yes.
I'm pretty happy with how we've been doing. We started in December. We didn't really start anything with money until January. I'm pretty pleased with how we're going.
Okay. Good.
I mean, it's
Good.
hard out there. It's hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just want to thank all of our people that listen or watch, because local news has taken a hit over the years, and a lot of media is skewed towards the right or the left. And I want to make media that's for the people. And I want to make media that's for the people that need us the most. And having people like Shurion is pretty amazing, because she was one of those people that needed help the most. And I'm really glad that she got help and that she got out, and that now she just works tirelessly to help others. Like, she's dedicated her life. So we'll have her on again. But, it'd be nice. And I'm really appreciative of you to bringing your counselor knowledge.
I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I retired almost a year ago. But so I have that background too, of having been involved in social services and government. Since about 1984.
I'm glad I ran for state house this last time because that's how I met you. We wouldn't be friends
Yes.
if I wouldn't have
Maybe
done that.
Right.
And you wouldn't have
there
ran.
in the street
Yeah.
during Harvest Homecoming. I can't remember exactly when
Yeah,
we first
that's
met,
when we
but
first became good friends.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Harvest Homecoming.
So I want to do a show with you soon in the next week or two. I want to do one on bullying, and I want to give tips because people in our government are bullying us, the people, to stop good things from happening and to get bad things from happening.
And it's a little bit different of a thing than if my next door neighbor bullies me.
But I also want to,
different than if
and
my
I also
elected official.
I want to do both because
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
people
but-
are bullied by someone.
Yeah.
I have bullies in my life, but I shine a light on them, so they usually stop.
Well, shining a light is a very good thing for all kinds of bullies. Yes.
Yeah, but they like to let
Right.
you know when you're not perfect. So you have to be willing to be like, "Yep, I'm not perfect."
Yep.
You got to be willing
And
to
you have
say
to
that.
be brave. And you are a very brave person, Sarah. Very brave person.
I'm brave for many reasons. A lot I can't take credit for. A lot of just the things that happened in my life, I was able to get myself out of and see that fighting for myself works. Not everybody knows that. Not everybody tries it. Some people just are too scared to try it, so they just repeatedly let the person bully them. And so that's why I want to help. I have stopped people bullying me. And it even happened when I was in 10th grade. Like actually it's happened from like 7th to 10th grade. And I'll share that with you. I'll share you my trauma and let everybody know what happened. That was the religious trauma.
Okay. Yes.
The youth
A
leader.
lot of that.
The youth
lot of
leader.
that in
The years of manipulation of trying to destroy my life was pretty crazy, but you don't realize people do that to other people. But yeah, so I want to talk about bullies with you, and I want to talk about narcissists, which kind of go in hand. A lot of these bullies are narcissists, but not necessarily. And yeah, what else are we going to talk? We got lots of stuff to talk about. We'll do mental fitness shows. But thanks everybody for watching, and I dare you, double dare you. If you're a Democrat, go to a Republican event. I dare you, Republican, go to a Democrat event and find you some friends, because then the real talk begins, and then we can actually freaking help some people, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
you clearly believe that, or you wouldn't have come with me.
Oh, of course. But I also know that not everyone is going to talk to you, and not everyone wants to talk.
If you're willing to come on a live with me, you are trying to help the community. So this is sort of a filter. If you're scared to come on and just like openly have a conversation about hard topics, there's some, you might be scared, you might be shy, you might be a perfectly great person, but you're shy. But if you're a public person and you're trying to change the community, it's a good filter to put this on, and you're willing to talk live. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Love you guys. Love you, girl. Loving the new haircut. If you know her, it's a week old, and she's rocking it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't tell you about the boots.
Oh,
The cowboy.
yeah.
Did you have cowboy stuff?
I do.
Oh my gosh, you have. I have no cowboy
I have
stuff.
cowboy boots that I have hand painted.
Oh darn!
And decorated, blinged up.
Go back and get them.
I almost did. You got here a little bit later.
I should have had you go
I
back
better
and
run home and go to get my cowboy boots. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Share if you can, and follow us on Project Next.